let me save you some time. Most of the self-improvement advice you've heard is wrong. All that wake up at 5 a.m, grind 24/7, take ice bath every day stuff is just setting you up to fail if you try following it blindly. In this video, I'm going to show you why 90% of that advice doesn't work, and more importantly, what actually does work to improve your life. So why do I say 90% of self-improvement advice is wrong? Well, here's the thing, a lot of it is super generic. It's like someone telling you that the secret to success is running marathons. Like, sure, that might work for some people, but what if you hate running? What if you have bad knees? Does it mean you can't be successful? I don't think so. And the same applies to habits like waking up super early or grinding non-stop. A couple years ago, I was waking up at 5 a.m. every day because that's what all the gurus said would make me more productive. But guess what? After a few weeks, I was tired all the time and my work quality and productivity actually went down. I just couldn't sustain this because I felt I was lacking sleep. And I know that I need roughly 8 hours of sleep to function at my best and not accumulate exhaustion over time. My situation with long hours at work wouldn't allow me to go to bed before 9 p.m. every day to get my 8 hours. So it was not that I was not trying hard enough, it was that I was following advice that just didn't fit my life. I was forcing myself too hard and too extremely into something that was not a good fit for my lifestyle at the time. So instead, I adjusted and changed my wake up time to 6 a.m, which seems to be the perfect fit for me and a pace I have been sustaining for a long time now. So the bottom line here is that most of self-improvement advice treats everyone like they're the same person, and that's where it fails. It doesn't account for your individuality, like your personality, your values, your unique goals, and how you want to live your life. We are all different, and a lot of the advice doesn't consider that, my friends. So why is this one-size-fits-all advice so popular if it doesn't really work for most people? So I think there are two main reasons. It's easy to sell. When someone tells you that waking up at 5 a.m. or working 100 hours a week will guarantee success, it feels simple. It gives you a false sense of control, like, if I just do this one thing, everything will fall into place. But sorry, it doesn't work that way, and there's no one single thing that will change your life drastically. It's all about stacking good habits for you, discipline and consistency. And it appeals to our desire for a quick fix. A lot of us want results yesterday. So when someone promises that following their advice will give you instant success, of course we buy into it. It's like those before and after fitness photos. They make it look like all it takes is one magic formula, but it requires creating a new diet, setting up a workout routine, and working hard consistently to get results over time. So here's the harsh reality, my friends. Life improvement is messy. It's trial and error. It's figuring out what works for you. And it's not blindly following what worked for someone else. And on top of that, it is constantly work on yourself that pays off. Alright, so if 90% of self-improvement advice is wrong, the million-dollar question is, what should you do instead? Start with self-awareness and get to know yourself. The best advice I ever received was to start by understanding myself first. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What excites you? For me, I thrive in deep, focused work sessions, not grinding 12 hours a day. After 4 to 6 hours of deep focus, I can't produce anything effectively without spending double the amount of time as if I had a clear mind. So I design my productivity around that. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what works for you. That being said, I encourage you to push your limits to see what you are capable of. Try working 4, 6, 12 hours a day and see how you feel. 2, experiment with different habits. Self-improvement is not a straight path. It's a series of experiments. Maybe you try waking up at 5 a.m. and realize you're not a morning person. Great, now you know. Maybe you work out in the evening and realize you have more energy. The point is to test, tweak and find what makes you better. There is an important caveat here. Before giving up and deciding that something is not for you, you need to try for an extended period of time first. And I would say at least 2 weeks. If you don't force yourself to do it, you will give up everything because it feels uncomfortable starting with something new. Which leads me to the third point: focus on long-term growth, not hacks. We're obsessed with quick hacks, but real growth takes time. It's about consistency, not intensity. You won't transform your life overnight, and that's okay. For example, I started doing daily reflection a couple of years ago, just 5 minutes at the end of each day, writing about how my day went, what went well, what went bad, and how I envision the next day. Over time, it's been a game changer for how I manage my projects, tasks, and set my priorities, but it took weeks to see real change. At first, I was thinking, well, it doesn't work for me and I don't have time for this, I feel like giving up. And trust me, for every single habit you'll think that way, and you'll have to overcome this little voice all the time. The fourth point is change your mindset and seek discomfort. The biggest shift you need to make is going from outcome focus to process focus. Now, what do those big words mean? It means stop obsessing over the end result, like I want to be a millionaire or I want to have six-pack abs, and start paying attention to how you're getting there. How are you enjoying the journey, even if it's hard? Are you making small, incremental, meaningful improvements every day? Because if you hate every second of the process, then what's the point? When I started focusing on incremental progress instead of end result, everything changed for me. I was happier, more productive, and started achieving more of my goals. It's about loving the process, not chasing the end result. Everyone wants to be fit, but you can't just focus on the goal of being fit. You need to focus on all the actions you need to take to become fit. Having a balanced diet most of the days, working out consistently, taking care of your sleep. So to wrap things up, most self-improvement advice is wrong because it doesn't consider you, your individuality, your values, your strength, and your lifestyle. What you need to do instead is experiment, become an explorer, and focus on self-awareness. Change your mindset from outcome-focused to process-focused and enjoy the journey. This should be an iterative process where you try, learn, and you adjust as you go. I hope this video gave you a new perspective on your own self-improvement journey. If it did, drop a comment below and let me know what habits you're experimenting with. Don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.